Durag Wisdom. It's now 30 days since the coup, a combination of voter fraud, voter intimidation, Citizens United, gerrymandering, superdelegate crap. This is the coup. Dark money in our politics. This is the coup. 30 days. There's a great line from the movie Paths of Glory, spoken by the character played by Kirk Douglas. At one point in the film, he says that he is ashamed to be a member of the human race. And for those of you who've seen Paths of Glory, this is a movie, an anti-war movie, about a bunch of soldiers, a battalion of soldiers who are forced to go on a suicide mission to take a hill that's impossible to take, and then they're accused of cowardice by the officers in charge. This is during World War I. This is the French. This is all there. They're supposed to be French, the people, the characters that we're dealing with, fighting the Germans. And there's a suicide mission, and they retreat. So then one man from each outfit, each platoon or whatever, is picked by one of the officers to be put on trial for cowardice and then executed. It's a lynching. The movie's basically showing a lynching of innocent men to satisfy the bloodlust of these rich scum. Great movie. Stanley Kubrick directed it, and Kirk Douglas is trying to defend his men, and he's defending them in the court, and this court, of course, is a kangaroo court. And so at some point in the movie, he says, the character says he's ashamed to be a member of the human race. And I feel the same way when I watch that film, and what I see in it and what I get out of it. These rich scum who love war, sending the children of the poor, the children of the working class, into harm's way to be murdered, to be cut down, to be cut to ribbons, and then judged by the same scum that sent them into their deaths in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, with this last 9/11 election that we had, where you put based on a fluke in the Electoral College, we put in this manifestly psychopathological individual into our White House, into the most powerful position in the world. This fills me with such dread and makes me ashamed to be a member of the human race. Now, I mention Rachel Maddow a lot because, not because she's the only news person I watch. I also happen to get my information from Keith Olbermann, Ed Schultz, Lawrence O'Donnell, the Young Turks. Rachel Maddow had the PPP poll on last night, which indicated, and it was an exclusive, which indicated no matter what this scumbag creature, Trump, Adolf Trumpler does, his people, the ones that voted for him, are going to ignore it. They don't care if he doesn't reveal his taxes. They don't care if he has conflicts of interest. They don't care if he's going to violate our Constitution. These people are in if they were in Guyana with Jim Jones, they'd be the first to drink the Kool-Aid and drop dead on the spot. All right, this is from the PPP poll that was introduced exclusively by Maddow last night to show the difference between how Trump voters see things mostly and how the rest of the nation sees things. And you got to remember that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by now 2.7 million. So getting back to the point at hand, we are at war, okay? And in order to not have to be ashamed, to be human beings, we have to stand up. We have to right the wrong that's been done to our country. And I'm going to tell you, and I've said this before, we are at war. What we've put into our government, into our White House, what we've allowed these crazies to put into our government, is going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot of people. We've allowed the fascist, greedy plutocrats, the fascist capitalists, to now gain total control of our society, in terms of our political society, to be able to do to us what they want, and all they want to do is hurt us. They want to eliminate the Social Security. They want to eliminate Medicare, Medicaid. They want to block grant that. They want to eliminate a woman's right to choose. They want to eliminate unions. They want to destroy the environment. They want to push their religious beliefs down our throats. My goddess. I mean, look what this turd has already put in his cabinet. They're all plutocrats. People want to destroy us. His recent pick for labor, a guy named Putster. Well, I call him Putster, and he's what's his claim to fame? He doesn't want to. He's a fast food piece of trash. So that's one thing. He's Carl's and he's whatever it is. He's a head of. He doesn't want people to have. He wants to have lower minimum wage. He doesn't want any minimum wage. He doesn't want people to have overtime. He wants to treat his workers like trash. He treats women like objects. He says he'd rather have machines working at his fast food joints because they don't complain, they don't have strikes, they don't claim the sexual discrimination or racial discrimination. This is the kind of crap that he put into labor. He also is against our having a private health care. This is what he put in there. He ran as a populist. If anybody like me who's seen the movie Meet John Doe with Gary Cooper and Barbara Stanwyck and Edward Arnold, directed by Frank Capra, knows that a fascist who claims to be a populist is lying through his stupid teeth, and when he gets into power, he's going to destroy all of us. Like this guy in Meet John Doe, who Edward Arnold played D.B. Norton. And he took control of this John Doe movement, a populist movement, and convinced everybody that he's a populist. He's running for president, but actually he's running for dictator. There's a big story with this movie, Meet John Doe. But when I see this creature Trump running as a populist, he reminds me of D.B. Norton and Meet John Doe. That movie, it resonates with me. Because what the character says, America needs an iron hand. It needs discipline. And that's the kind of crap you put in there. Because, of course, when you talk about discipline, we're talking about the end of unions, the end of a woman's right to choose, the end of the environmental protections. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the innocent animals, look what we've done. He's going to hurt us. This is war. This is civil Cold War in our country. And like they did in Paths of Glory, that film, the rich are going to sit there and they're going to send the rest of us to slaughter. And then when we don't perform correctly, they're going to execute us. Ladies and gentlemen, when are we going to wake up? This creep has so many conflicts of interests that it baffles me that people have forgotten what happened with Nixon and Watergate. What's going to wake us up? Does this piece of shit Trump and his GOP fascist bastards and birther bastards have to kill somebody first before we wake up? Just like that character in Paths of Glory, I'm ashamed to be a member of the human race.